Hello and welcome to our latest 10-minute news and updates. A quickie. I'm having a lovely quickie with my friend Laura Simmons. Hello, Laura, and welcome aboard.
Hello, hi.
And
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to introduce this incredible lady. The amount of work and contribution and just the magic that you add to so many projects, it just never ceases to amaze me to see your name come into so many things. So, Laura, you're a lady of many hats. You're a lady of many talents. Tell me a bit about how you got into behind the scenes with all of this stuff with Access.
Well, I love organizing. That's one of my capacities, is to bring people together and, just kind of schedule and organize and, to do these big events. We do quite a few big events in Access. So I just love getting involved and getting stuck in there. So, yeah.
And look, Laura, for those of you watching now or in the future, Laura how long have you been around for? It's been a while.
Oh, about 10 years now. Yeah. 10 years doing it, yeah.
There is so much that goes on behind the scenes too. We're going to talk about, the judgment-free zone today and welcome everybody to know a lot more about it before we begin on June the 1st. But, again, your level of involvement and the organizational skills that you have makes so many of these really big projects actually take off, because there's so many working parts to it. So tell me what you've had to do behind the scenes with the judgment-free zone, and then we'll talk about what it is.
Well, for a start, I will have to say that it takes a village to, it takes many people behind the scenes to create something like this. So I am not alone. There is a huge team of us putting this, judgment-free zone together. We've got people doing the graphics, the social side of it. It's also being translated every single day into about 8 different languages. So we've got translators involved. We've got the person coordinating the translators involved. We have the tech team. There's a tech side of it as well. My part is also part of the tech side of it, but also was involved in getting all the participants, the speakers, for each of the lives, scheduled. That was no easy task. Indeed, everyone has very busy lives as well. So, so it really is a whole number of people involved in creating it all. So, yeah.
And so for those of you joining us for the 21 days of the judgment-free zone, which I'll ask Laura about in a minute, we've got, I don't know how many people are going to be involved with this on screen. And so if this is your first time to Access Consciousness, welcome aboard. If this is your first experience with Access, if this is your 100th experience or your 1000th experience, what we see on the screen is just, for me, I'm always in this state of awe in regards to how different people use the tools, how people, apply them to their own lives, the backgrounds that people come from. There's just infinite possibilities and infinite contribution that comes from all corners of the globe. So, when you're sitting watching, if you join us for the 21 days, when you're sitting watching the amazing speakers on whichever day it is, I wonder if you would be willing to receive how much contribution there is from all over the world in so many different places.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Laura, tell us about the 21 days. Tell us what it is.
Okay, so it's 21 days judgment-free zone. We're inviting people to come and watch live on YouTube. Pretty much every day is going to be at the same time. We have 3 that are going to be different because they're from the speakers who are in Australia. So we have to make that a little different, including Miss Viv herself is going to be on one of them. So they're going to be at 6 p.m. Central European time, which is 11 a.m. Houston time. I'm not sure what, I can't at this stage tell you any other time zones. And we're going to have maybe one speaker mostly 2 speakers on each day talking about actually, they've each got a question. We've given them a question around being you, and they're going to use that as their topic and talk for about half an hour, have an amazing conversation. And these speakers they're all really incredible facilitators in Access. They have amazing different perspectives on being you in these different areas. So I can give you some examples of some of the questions. If I just go over
have
here.
Sneak peek.
I have a sneak peek, but actually I can, well, okay. So one of the questions is, can we change the world with our very energy? So Anthony Mattis, Dr. Anthony Mattis will be on to talk about that. Then we have another question, which is, what can animals teach us about being you? So if you're really into animals, you love animals, then maybe that's one that you want to jump on. That's going to be Georgia Watson and Brett Rockmore are going to be talking about that on the 18th of June. And I will give you one other example. Let me pick one here. Okay, what drives you forward? What is your fuel? So that is on the 11th of June. That is going to be Kalpana Raghuram. I can never pronounce her surname. And Grace Douglas is going to be talking about that one. So they're very different questions, but all around the topic of being you. And
and getting out of judgment of, I mean, this is the other thing, because, I mean, I've been putting a few posts up on social in regards to judgment, and I'm like, I wonder how many people actually acknowledge what judgment is, but not only what it is, how often or how they do it to themselves or to a situation or other people, but also how that stops so much in their life as well. So I think for me, I'm really excited about these 21 days, because each person, whoever's facilitating on that day, they have a different question. There's a different topic. And if you're willing to join us for those 21 days, it is going to be the most incredible journey into becoming, in a lot less judgment of yourself, and the freedom that gives you, and the choices it opens up for you, and the life that can create. What would you really love to be beyond judgment? So, and and so we've got the 21 days, and then on June the 22nd, we lead into the Being You Day. Do you want to talk a bit about
International Being You Day, which is really exciting?
Yes.
So, so Dr. Dane here has actually got a Being You Changing the World class coming off in Mexico. It starts on the 21st of June, 22nd and 23rd of June. And we are inviting everybody to buy a free ticket to a small portion of that that class on the 22nd of June, so that you can join Dane live in Mexico. And you'll see across the bottom of the screen, the beingyouday.com website has all the details on everything you need to know, about the judgment-free zone, all the lives, who's on each of the lives, what the times are, and also where you can get your ticket to join Dr. Dane here on the 22nd.
Free for a 2-hour class.
Yes,
and you can watch that on your phone, you can watch it on your laptop, you can be at home with some friends that have joined you. It's welcome it's open for anybody to join and get a taste of what being you is all about, because I think, a bit like judgment, it's like, what do you mean being you? What's that even mean? But it's this incredible journey into knowing you in a way that you may have never known you or perceived you before. And it's just, it's a fun day. It's this is the 4th international one, so each year it's so different, and the contribution that it be to changing the world too. It's because this isn't just all of us sitting and watching or participating. We're also contributing to changing the future and changing the world. So if that's something that you're interested in, tell your friends, jump on board, register at
beingyouday.com. But Viv, I would like to ask you, what is your question, because you're doing one of the lives of one of the days, so maybe you can tell us about that as well.
Well, I'm being joined by one of my very, very dear friends, and a lady who inspired me greatly at my first ever facilitator training, Miss Tiffany Brennan. She's a gorgeous being who also travels around the world and works a lot with the team of Access Consciousness. And our question is, what if you didn't have to play by the rules? So we're going to have, pardon?
Which day is that on?
It's either day 14 or 15. 14.
14. Yeah, because you're in Australia, so your days are a little different in your head to our days here in the rest of the world. So yes.
So so I'm looking forward to that, and just just the willingness to kind of play with the question and see where it goes and have a conversation with Tiffany, but also when you're willing to lead a very different life, when you're really willing to back yourself and be you and not function within all of these structures of what's right or wrong or pleasing other people or living from obligation and what you've got to do, like I say, a whole other reality, a whole other universe of play starts to show up. So, if you're willing to play, you, the being, are free to play too.
I know. And I do want to just invite everyone to one more thing, which is the kickoff to all of this is happening on the 1st of June with Dr. Dane here. He is going to be kicking it off at 6 p.m. Central European time, 11 a.m. Houston time, in the same place as all the other all the other places. YouTube, you can go and watch. But if you go to beingyouday.com, you will see the details of where you can join Dr. Dane here on the 1st of June and all the other times, and where you can watch each day as well and join everybody. So it's going to be a 22-day party to Being You, and we would just love to see you joining us throughout the journey. All of us backstage as well, all of everybody who's behind the scenes. Special thank you to them as well. So
yes, indeed. And I just want to reiterate, it's free. The whole 21 days, the class with Dane, the 2-hour class that he's offering. If you go to beingyouday.com, all of the information's there. The link to register is there. And look, even if you can't join the class live, it might be at 2 a.m. in your country while it's being videoed, but you can have the replay, so you can have it to watch in the future as well. So thank you, Miss Laura. I'm very much
Go being you. Go being you is all I say. Yes. Let's do it.
3 more sleeps, 3 more days to go. So June the 1st, Dr. Dane here will be kicking off.
And I look forward to seeing you in the midst of it all, Viv, as well. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me, Laura. And thank you, everybody, for joining us and watching us today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time of day it is for you around the world. Thanks, everybody. And we'll be back with another 10-minute quickie news and updates in the very near future. Bye.
Bye.